Okay, here we go with our catechism. Ready? Here we go. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Proverbs 29:2. Have a seat. So what's in the news? Anybody see anything in the news that's interesting?
Taylor Swift and her boyfriend got engaged.
Oh.
I thought they already were married. No.
Mr. Beast is the co-owner of the NFL.
Huh?
Mr. Beast is the co-owner of the NFL.
Really?
Of course
What?
Of course he is.
No kidding.
He probably just bought the NFL.
What? What's the news?
I don't know how recent this is, but they're undigging more of Pompeii. They decided that they wanted to keep on excavating, and they're finding a lot of things that kind of change their perspective of how Pompeii was fallen.
Oh, Pompeii, they've been digging at that for the last 50 years.
Actually, they stopped for a long time.
They probably ran out of money.
Probably.
Yeah, can you imagine? This hard volcanic ash. It's not like ash in a fireplace.
It's like-
It might look like it, but it is compacted. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's bodies. Anyone look up something interesting? You want to see a Pompeii pictures? Look up the Pompeii dead. When they find a cavity, they keep digging down. They find a cavity. Usually, it's because a person died underneath the ash and they decomposed, so there's nothing left besides maybe a few bones. What they do is when they find a cavity, they fill it full of plaster and then dig all around it, and it shows the last moments of the person that died. You can even see their face expressions.
They found more bones of 2 women and like a child who got crushed by one of the ceilings.
I believe it.
And,
It's sad.
The whole skeleton still is there. It's really cool.
They found a cavity where someone died who had grabbed all of their money and was running for their lives with it, like a sack or something. But the money was copper. What happens to copper over time?
Green.
Yes. So he's running with his copper bag. He dies on the spot with his copper bag. His bones and everything were bleached oxide copper green when they found it. Green copper coins everywhere. Kind of weird, but yeah. Can't take it with you, folks. Leave your copper coins at home.
No,
What about our penny?
what about your pennies from the 1840s?
I know, jeez, I
I
know.
want to be buried with my penny collection.
Well, what else is in the news? I got some news for you. So South Korea, this is kind of weird. Most of us didn't know this. South Korea is the free part of Korea that we support. South Korea had on top of very large poles, speakers, big speakers, mounted on top of poles, pointing towards North Korea, which was right on the border, and they would play all day long, like all sorts of things about freedom and how North Korean dictatorship stinks. They would actually, along the entire 38th parallel, which is like, I think, 30, 40 miles long, speakers. And you could hear this stuff 10, 20 miles into North Korea. South Korea is better. You guys suck. Come over here. They actually took the speakers down recently.
Aw, they should keep it up
Yes.
and play Top Gun.
They, yeah, yes. I think they might have. I don't know.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Play the Captain America.
Yeah, but for the longest time, they did that in Vietnam too. In Vietnam, when they would mount speakers on poles, face towards where they knew the enemy was, and they would play American stuff. They would play all sorts of. They play Led Zeppelin. They'd play all sorts of things, and the North Koreans like, oh, these people are crazy. They can afford to have speakers and music pounding our ears all night. But yeah, they stopped doing that in Vietnam eventually, and they just stopped doing it in Korea for the first time. And oh my gosh, they must have been doing that for at least 20 years. Wearing on their nerves. Could you imagine speakers blaring AC/DC all night and stuff? Wow. So. So, okay, now we're going to talk about books. Anybody like books here? How many book geeks do we have here?
Depends on the books you're there.
Hey, if you guys want to go and get some good price books, go to the Wiley Park book sale. It is still going on today and tomorrow. Anyone been there?
500 bucks.
I was there yesterday. I walked out of there and spent a lot of money. So yes, please go. If you find a book you think I'll like, maybe I'll buy it off you. I don't know.
Just give it to you.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to give me nothing. Okay, so until 1450, you had to hand print your books. Make sure you understand this, because books weren't always as cheap as they are at a used book sale. Like we could go get them at Wiley Park today if we want for a few bucks. No. If you wanted a book in the Renaissance era until this point, you had to pay dearly for it, because guess what? What'd you have to do to get a copy of a book? Someone would have to write it by hand for you and duplicate it and give it to you. I got something to show you. Now, this has been in my family for like 150 years. This was all done by hand. So if you can imagine books all done by hand with embellishments and colorings and all sorts of things, this is what books kind of look like. And they were beautiful and they were gorgeous, but you paid dearly for them. This is very old. Please be careful. That came over on the boat with my mother's family from Ireland. Yeah, I have no idea how old it is, but it's old. Very old. But yes, you had to be rich to own any books back then. Guess what? They're rare, they're expensive, they're beautiful, but you know what? Chances are you couldn't read anyway, because we're all peasants back then, except maybe one of us who has a little more. I don't know. We got to pick.
Ow!
Who might that be?
Me! Actually, no, it can't be me. It can't be me. I'd probably be Jessica.
Yeah, you would.
Hey, jesters made good money.
True.
No, jesters get hurt on purpose to make people laugh.
Wow,
I'll just
that
bang.
is
No,
just
they more roasted.
I'll just.
Yeah, they get paid to roast the king, so.
The only time you ever said something bad about the king was with that. And then if you offended him, he killed you.
So here's a pop quiz. What is your favorite book?
Dang it.
Your favorite
Do we
book
exclude the
ever?
Bible?
You can say Bible. That counts.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
We
favorite
want
book.
book.
We'll start with Mr. Dornenbach.
The Bible.
Ah.
The Bible.
Whoa.
Bible and your book.
Hey, thanks.
I just finished Beneath the Scarlet Sky.
Beneath the Southern Sky?
Beneath the Scarlet Sky.
Oh, I never read that one.
It's a light novel.
Huh. How about Mr. Lincoln? You fail. Next one.
Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes.
Ooh, interesting. How about you?
Stormlight Archives.
That's different.
Bible.
A place to hang the moon.
Place to hang a boot?
A place to hang the moon.
Oh, the moon. Okay. How about you?
I can't choose, there's too many.
You fail.
Can I say two?
Yeah.
The Bible, and then I have this book called Strange Pictures.
Strange pictures.
It's
Okay.
really good. The Devil Rides Out.
Ah. How about you?
Besides the Bible, it would probably be Diary of a Wimpy Kid series or the Big Nate novel series.
Wimpy Kid's a good series, I hear. How about you?
Salt to the Sea by this is a penny.
Salt of the Sea?
Salt to the Sea.
Salt to the Sea. I've never read that one.
Maybe the Edgar Allan Poe works.
Oh, you like the Poe. That guy's twisted.
Maybe the Lord of the Rings.
Ah, there's the Lord of the Rings.
There are too many.
Too many?
But if I say what I actually like, everybody's gonna make cookies, so I'm not going to.
What is
That's
it
okay.
actually?
It's okay. You can fail this. That's fine. Yeah, you fail. I have a couple of favorites, but I think my all-time favorite would be The Hobbit. Mhm.
My mom would be.
You've never read The Hobbit?
She heard that.
Oh.
So now we're going to talk about a little more about books, but we're going to move on soon. Sorry about this. The brightness over there is kind of canceling this out a little. But it's thanks to scribes and monks that we even have this stuff from the ancient world. You believe it or not, some scribes and monks, they couldn't read for a while. They just kind of copied exactly what they saw until they could figure it out. Can you imagine that? Copying a book you can't read. Say if you get a book that's, anyone speak German in here?
I'll be the
Could
same.
I'll be the same. Could you copy a German book not knowing German? Could you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It might take a while.
It might take a little while, but that's how they started, and they kept going and going and going until they figured out the languages. Some historians say that because of this, there's going to be errors. But if someone tells me to copy exactly something else to the best of my ability, I don't think I'm going to make many errors, especially if that's the only reason I have to live. So. But because of scribes and monks, that's why we have a lot of the ancient knowledge we still do have, which is great. And if you can get a hold of these books before 1450, they're worth a fortune, especially the ones that have beautiful embellishments and color. What?
He keeps twisting his pen and he keeps going.
So now we're going to talk about this guy. You might know something about him. You might have heard of him. But he looks around. He has a couple of friends working on this too. Looks around and says, we got to make more books because there's a huge demand growing up. People want to have these things in their house. It's a nice investment. Let's face it, books make a beautiful house. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you don't have books in your house, it's like having a body without a soul. But this guy comes up with an idea called movable type. And it's very simple, really. And here's his buddies are working on it with him. They get some sand. Well, sometimes they can use clay, but hard packed sand. They pour a special mold of lead into the sand and then they take the lead out. They file it off, and bam, you've got letters that you can actually switch around on a board and go like this to a newspaper, and bam, you just made a whole copy of a single page of newspaper. Yeah, newspaper is going to come out soon, not just books. There is a person that came up with one of the original Bibles from this time period. Sometimes they pop up every once in a while. The Martin Luther era Bibles, they're worth a fortune. And if you ever get a chance to look at an old Bible from the 1400s, they're absolutely beautiful. Yes?
Wasn't the first book he printed the Bible?
Yes. Yes, as far as I know, yes. I mean, I'm sure he printed other things to perfect the process first, like his name, but who knows, you know. I don't even think there is an original Gutenberg Press out there. If there's anywhere, it's going to be Germany, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. My grandfather operated a press that was not much unlike the press that he made. He worked in, my grandfather Grant, he just passed away a few years ago. He worked in a college, and he had a room that was at least this big all the way to there. Half the room was full of printer with big knobs and big switches, and he knew how to operate the thing. Big, huge metal piece. He moved around the typeset. He added the ink. He did all of it. He's the last person in the world, I think, that knew how to use that stuff.
Our church building was in the Aberdeen American News building, and we have a spot in our basement where there was a printing press, and the room is just like black, and it's huge, and there was a whole huge printing press in there.
Is it in there now?
No, it's not in there.
Oh,
I
shoot.
took it out, but
Oh, I would love to see one of those again. My grandpa came home one day, and I was at his house. He came home one day, and he knew I liked treasure. Who doesn't like treasure? He brought home a vial of actual gold ink. This is actual gold. If I passed that frame around, you can see the gold in it. Same stuff. He gave me a vial of this gold ink, and I have it to this day. It is actually gold. And you can swish it around in this ancient bottle, and it's liquid. It's great. You put your finger in it, you got a gold finger.
How much is it worth?
I have no idea, but it's got to be worth a lot. So, but how do you make ink? What do you think ink is made of? Any guesses? Yes.
Tree sap or something?
Did I hear squid? Octopus?
Yeah, octopus.
How many octopuses do we need to make 14 pens? No.
You could use some type of liquid like glycerin and mix it with like charcoal.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You guys are smart. You make ink on the side or something? All right, this is how you make ink. And it actually took a while to figure this out. Boiled linseed oil. Basically, you can get this stuff at the hardware store right now, boiled linseed oil. It's not actually boiling at the point you get it. It's just in a vial. It's linseed oil that's been boiled down, makes it kind of thick. And she said it right, charcoal. To make ink, you're going to need some charcoal. You can find that just about anywhere, right? But there's a funny ingredient that was added later, because before it was just boiled linseed oil and charcoal. And I think there was an ink made out of a tree sap too. I can't be positive. But to make the perfect ink for a newspaper or a book, you use lamp black. What is lamp black? Anybody know? Anyone have any oil lamps in their house? Ever get black and get sooty? That's it. Yes, that stuff. There's something about the molecular, well, whatever happens to that black stuff on your lamp, you can add it to this and it makes a perfect type of ink. Especially for your newspapers, because you don't want ink that goes in a newspaper that bleeds all over the place. Does anyone have a pen that you put on a piece of paper and it just bleeds right through the paper? How annoying that is? Yeah. Well, before this concoction here, that's what ink was. So you had to dip it with a feather or maybe a brush and do it very carefully, or else it will bleed all over the place. So can you imagine doing that, copying down book after book after book, being a monk? If you hold that brush wrong, you're going to screw up your whole beautiful page if you don't do it just right, because the ink will bleed everywhere. Can you imagine that? The lamp black charcoal and boiled linseed oil made it so it does not bleed. It spreads evenly and does not soak in. I think that's the point. That's funny. I don't know who exactly invented that concoction for ink, but it was starting to be used now with the press. It hasn't changed very much since. I mean, yeah, in the modern world, I'm not sure what our ink's made of, but it can't be very far away from this. It can't be. I got a favorite type of pen. It's a G7 pen. Every time I write, I use one of those pens. Doesn't bleed. Got a nice look. You know what? Maybe I'll see if I can find that gold ink and bring it in. It is in a very old bottle. It looks like it's 150 years old. But yes, you look at it, it looks like a lake of gold. It's really something. I've never seen gold like that. But he told me to hang on to it.
Someone's probably going to break it.
or steal it or something.
I'm bringing it because I'm probably going to break it.
So what are you going to print first? Yeah, we're going to have those.
We let them out for late again today. Make sure you come outside, because those guys will still be in class.
Okay. All right. You're all coming to detention.
10:25, 10:20.
Okay. You're all going to detention today. All of you.
Yay!
So you're going to print Bibles, sure. You're going to print maybe some newspapers and some letters. Guess what's being printed the most right now, besides Bibles and maybe, little tiny letters and stationaries?
Hymnals or poetry books?
Indulgences. Someone might know what that means in this class. We talked about it last year. Guess what? The Gutenberg Press, what it's doing the most of is printing indulgences. Indulgence. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Does anyone know what that word means? I see a hand.
Well, it's a paper from the Catholic Church that gets you, if you buy it, it gets you or a beloved one years from purgatory.
Aha, there it is. Very smart. So instead of printing a ton of books, we're printing some things like that. The most thing they are printing is indulgences. By 1453, 8 million of them have been printed. I'm not sure what they look like to this day, but they couldn't have been that big. They might have been a slip of paper this big. I do not know. I'd love to get my hands on one. But by 1453, the press has made over 8 million indulgences. If you buy this little slip of paper, your loved one will suffer a little less from hell. If you buy this little paper, you know what? Well, you can buy back a sin that you might have committed. That's an indulgence. That's the ancient world. That's what happened. You know what? I was wrong. It wasn't 8 million indulgences. It was 8 million books. My apology.
You lied.
I lied, yes. I totally messed that up. But the most thing they're printing is indulgences. But by 1453, 8 million printed books have been made thanks to this press. Messed that up. I got ahead of myself.
Wow.
Equal to the total amount of hand-scribed books over the last 1,100 years. By 1453. So Gutenberg invents movable type around 1430. By 1453, 8 million books have been printed. That is incredible, people. And the process is faster, but it's still slow by today's modern standards. Can you imagine? You'd have to be at this 10 hours a day to do something like that. And then you'd sell your expensive press to other people that would also do press stuff, and wow, he's making money. He might not have a life because he's printing so many books, but he's got money. Now, this class, if you'll remember the syllabus, this class we're actually going to go past the Renaissance here pretty quick because we talked about it a lot last semester. I'm just kind of grazing over a couple points. But this movable type changed the world. It is easy to see that. And it just keeps going and keeps going. Wow. And we'll need that up longer. So I woke up one morning and I went down to my desk, and what was sitting on my desk? The big, most disgustingly beautiful beetle I've ever seen. Because one of my kids thought I might like it. So there it was. Yep. So I was shocked how nice and conditioned it was, but it's ugly. But I'm also looking for cicadas. If you find a big, ugly cicada, get it for me.
I have a box full of dead bugs.
Really?
Yeah.
You're weird.
If you go down at Moccasin Creek by the water park, there's a bunch of dead cicadas because the mosquito spraying is starting to kill them.
Where is it?
Down by Moccasin Creek by the water park.
Are their heads intact?
We just walked by and there's dead cicadas.
Well,
sometimes.
cicadas are like, there's no neck, it's just head and body.
Yeah, no, but I've seen
And their
a
eyes
cicada
are like
with a-
this.
I think it's probably the one who just bites the
When I
head
was on
off.
our trampoline, I took a picture of it. I held it, then it flew away.
Oh. Well,
We had a butterfly in our driveway which had one of its legs taken off and it couldn't fly and its wings kept falling over.
that's sad.
I tried to pick it up, but it wouldn't let me.
If I brought you a dead squirrel, would you want that?
Yeah, I tried to put it in my freezer.
A dead squirrel, I don't think I'm going to graduate to squirrels anytime soon.
Yeah, we don't promote serial killer activities here. We don't kill animals.
What if they're already on?
Okay, who has, in your extensive libraries at home, does anyone have a how-to for dummies, the For Dummies books?
My mom.
Writing for Dummies. Housewife for Dummies.
Driving for dummies.
Driving for Dummies. What else?
Classical music for dummies.
Personal finance for dummies.
Personal finance for dummies.
Yeah.
I've never.
Dog training.
You got one too?
Yeah, no.
Piano for dummies. Okay. Guess what? Guess what? One of the first things that starts to be printed is these how-to books. They didn't call them for dummies, but that's what they are. Guess what? We don't have the internet. We can't travel extreme distances unless we have a lot of money. So guess what? We're going to want to buy books on how to do things. It makes sense. We all want to learn. We crave knowledge. So here's one of the fun how-to books I'm going to talk about from this time. His name is Martini, like the famous drink that James Bond likes. This guy here makes a how-to for dummies. Basically the same thing, but it's a how-to book called The Treatise. Ooh, it's so serious sounding. The Treatise. How to fortify. So it'd be like having a how to make a castle for dummies. Castle making for dummies. He makes one of these things way back when. I would love to see original copy. Keep your eye out. How to make a castle for dummies. Anyone ever make a tree fort?
Oh, we tried.
Uh-huh. Could you do it all yourself, or do you have to ask questions of somebody to figure it out?
No.
No?
I just did it.
Oh, good for
It
you.
wasn't a very good tree fort, but I could stand on it.
Oh, okay.
I stand on it, but it wasn't messy.
I had so many questions from my kids. How do I do this, that, and yeah, they needed the knowledge. So we have how-to books for fortifications. Why would he do that?
Because he's
Why at this time? Why would you make a how-to book on how to make a castle or a fort when they're all over the place already?
To protect yourself from evil people invading land.
There is that. That's the point of a castle.
for future people to read.
Okay. All right.
For us.
For us to talk about in this class. Yes. Does anyone need this How to Fortify for Dummies up any longer? Okay. This is what happens. So Martini was in a siege. He was behind a walled fortress, probably made in the Roman times. We have a city or a town with walls surrounding it. Nice, beautiful medieval walls that stand straight up, beautiful, nice towers. He is in a place called Naples. And guess what? Here comes an army with cannons. What happens?
They die.
Well, there's death, sure. Martini's looking around and he's seeing cannons knock down these walls. New cannons. More powerful cannons are being used against ancient medieval fortresses. So what happens to those ancient medieval towers? They crumble. You hit them a few times with a big enough steel ball or marble ball, they will fall down. We got a problem. All of a sudden, our walls are not going to be able to defend our people anymore. Uh-oh, because of a cannon. I have a cannonball at home. I didn't get to bring it in. I'll bring it in next time. Yeah?
Oh, I haven't showed you yet.
You got a cannonball?
Yeah, you can
Where'd you get it?
It was with train tracks.
Yeah, you should.
Train tracks?
Yeah, she showed you.
I don't remember.
When she was
No,
living
I
with us.
didn't. I wasn't able to show him yet.
Was there any more?
On my cat's
Was there any
life
more
that you
cannonballs?
showed.
Okay.
No, I looked around.
Jeez, okay. I have a cannon at home for people that don't know. So what happens,
Do you ever use it?
I'm actually going to fire it in a week and a half from now.
Press my books, yeah.
Mobridge Celtic Festival, the 13th and 14th, I'm firing that cannon 6 times.
Do you ever use it to lay siege to your neighbors?
I could.
Well, we
It's
like
fully
it.
it's fully functional, I'm telling you. Yeah, they come after me. So Martini's, here's some pictures. Martini's standing at the top of one of the walls looking down. Here's a cannon. Pow! After a few hits, that wall crumbles. We got a problem. We cannot make forts and castles like we used to anymore, even though they're nice looking, even though they're beautiful. We've got a problem. old castles and forts are not going to work against modern cannons, and he sees this. So he makes a how-to book on how to build forts and castles. Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
Yes, you have to draw the picture exactly how he draws it.
Yeah, that's true. I did say that.
Why is the wall used?
I think that's fire.
It's hitting.
I did this at 11 o'clock last night. Yeah.
It's hitting. Yeah.
There's some guy there and hit it and he just.
I think this is a head right here.
That actually happened to someone in Canada. Yeah, they were in front of a cannon because it wasn't working. So they just were looking what the heck happened? Yeah, he got launched.
Now these are still smoothbore cannons. They don't have a lot of distance. The cannon I have at home that was made 300 years ago is a smoothbore cannon. You look down the cannon barrel and it's smooth. There's no rifling or anything. You put a ball in there, you shoot it, and sometimes it ain't exactly accurate, but it's still extremely devastating. You put a steel ball through that, even if it's not exactly accurate, it's gonna hit a big old wall. You're not gonna miss a wall. I hear some crying.
I thought I heard a missile.
Sounds like someone wants a firework.
Put it downstairs. No wonder that's
So like a jet, but then
So Martini, when he's starting to make his Castles for Dummies book, he looks at this stuff here. Old castles have dead spots with circle and square towers. Dead spots. Dead spots. How do I explain what a dead spot is on a castle? What do you think that means?
A place where stuff isn't exactly safe.
a weak point.
Yeah. Okay, weak point. There are spots on castles that you cannot look around and fire from. There are spots where it's just simply not possible to shoot at an enemy from. They're not perfectly made. Yes?
Didn't they have the windows so you could shoot a bow and arrow?
Yep. Yes, they did. We'll get into that. But old castles have something called dead spots. Guess what? If you have a dead spot, that's where the enemy is going to hit you the most, where you can't hit them easily. Old castles aren't as efficient that way. And guess what? If you have a nice vertical, beautiful stone wall, it can be rammed. Battering rams, I don't need to go into what that is. But cannons changed everything. All of a sudden, we cannot have old fortifications that are beautiful anymore if we want to survive behind them. A lot of castles during this time were completely reduced to rubble because of a cannon. You think we got a lot of castles in Europe now. Anyone been to Europe? Lucky you. There is hundreds and thousands of castles in Europe. You think there's a lot now? There was a lot more then. A lot of them were reduced to nothing because of a cannon. So it was time to redesign what a castle is going to look like to protect against cannons. You got to redesign these things or else your castle is not going to keep you safe anymore. So Martini makes a Castle Making for Dummies book, and guess what? The castle that he comes up with is very different from what we're used to up until this point. Some of you might know where I'm going with this. I hope that's not my boy.
Probably.
No, that's not him. No, he don't sound like that. Every parent knows their kids scream, let me tell you. It's weird. Oh, look at that. The sun's taking us a break here. So now we're going to design new forts, and they're going to be shaped kind of funny. They're going to be shaped like a polygon or a star and have extensions. Wow, how are you going to make a castle look like a star? Oh boy, here we go. Why would you even do that to begin with? Well, I'll tell you. You say goodbye to the beautiful medieval castles. And here comes some modern art. I did this at 11:15 last night.
It'll be too beautiful for my eyes. I can't look at it.
You will see these castles in a lot of places. In Florida, St. Augustine. I believe it's St. Augustine. Wait a minute. In Florida, there's an old Spanish fort there at St. Augustine. I believe it's St. Augustine. That looks a lot something like this. If you ever go to Baltimore or see any of the other old forts that were made in America, especially during the Civil War era or a little bit before, you're going to see these forts. Star Spangled Banner was over a fort that looked kind of like this. Here we go.
Whoa!
Oh!
That's actually gorgeous.
Huh. Yeah, that looks cool. That's kind of cool.
So here's the reckoning, okay? Here's a guy running for his life. Now, forts were used to holding towns, but now you shouldn't put towns in here at all, because guess what? You can put mortars in and they can shell the town from outside easily. You can't do that anymore. So at best, you're just going to have a few buildings inside. You're going to shape your fort like this. All of these are cannons. All of these are spots where you can put men, right up here. And you make them irregular. They don't have to be perfectly made, but these are the kind of angles you want. This is what I mean by no dead spots. There is nowhere on this fort that you cannot shoot at your enemy from.
Well, what about the center?
What if they're digging underground?
We're going to get to that.
Maybe don't dig.
We're going to get to that.
How long did that take you?
I don't know. It was probably 5 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
But your flag and a couple of your garrison forts, houses are going to be in the center. These are giant, round, kind of stubby towers compared to the old ones with bigger cannons in them. So you got a bunch of little ones and then some guys out here, a bunch of little ones, some guys here, all the way across. You cannot be a chicken living over here and expect to survive. Or here. Or here. Think about it. There is nowhere that chicken can be and not be shot by one of these, this.
Why would they shoot the chicken though?
To eat it.
Well, the
Not with a
images-
cannon, maybe a rifle or something.
I'm looking at it from the top.
Yeah, yes. This is this is like you're a bird looking down at the fort.
Okay, because I thought we were looking at it like this, and I was like,
Oh.
what?
I didn't think of that. I should have said that.
I
Pretend
I did not think that.
pretend you are a bird flying over the fort and you look down, that's what it looks like.
You thought this was the wall?
It looks like that.
You know, it's funny, all of our brains are different. That proves it right there.
How did they get the cannons on the walls?
Oh, they bring them in. They
I guess
bring
if
them
they
in.
have rollers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cannons have wheels.
This is making so much more
Yeah.
sense now.
Has everyone got something like that in their notes?
Right there,
I
yeah.
don't judge your art. You don't have to judge mine.
No, I haven't seen this art in like 3 decades.
But it's not only that it's weird shaped, it's wider shaped. It's shaped more outwards. You got a couple houses in the center and garrison places and a flag, and all of that spread out.
Can you build one?
Anyone can build one.
Can you?
Might take a while.
Okay.
Maybe like
Yes.
What's the difference between that and just making a big circle of one?
Well, if you make a big circle, you got dead spots.
Where? If you put cannons like all around the circle.
Another problem with that, and I'll go into this, you're actually getting right to where I'm going. Anyone need this up longer? Okay. There we go. Here comes some more modern art. I want to talk about this. I really hate this sword here. Okay. These are how the walls are shaped. You are standing right here with a cannon. The walls are not up and down anymore. They're sloped. Why? because sometimes the cannonball can just ricochet off it or ricochet up into the air. These slopes are lined with nice, pretty stone, but right behind the stone is what? Dirt. Dirt is the best form of defense you can have against cannons, against bombs. Dirt has an enormous ability to absorb shock. And this is what Martini saw. He saw that regular stone walls that are skinny, just standing up like my arm, that are a couple feet thick, sure, maybe 10 feet thick, will eventually crumble and fall. But if you make a stone wall into the earth, slope it, and put nothing but earth behind it, I don't care how many cannonballs you shoot at that thing, it's not going to break up the earth very badly. It just won't. And so behind this earthen ramparts and a little bit of stone, you got other guys with cannons pointing that way. So unlike old towers, where you could sometimes tunnel underneath, this is why the forts are shaped this way. You have multiple levels of defense. Can you imagine, back in the old day, you had a wall like this big. All you have to do was tunnel underneath it to get to the other side. Now, you think a tunneler will have an easy time going under here? But you can't just keep going this way because you'll end up way below the fort. You have to now tunnel kind of like up this way to get underneath the fort because the rest of the fort's up here. Tunneling becomes all but impossible. Especially with explosives now. Here's a good example how well earth can absorb shock. When I was in the Marine Corps, they taught us how to dig foxholes. Anyone know what a foxhole is? Yeah, basically. Sometimes they're called fighting holes. Anyway, we dig a hole in the ground just so we can duck underneath it in case people are shooting at us. It's made out of earth and it's nicely protected. At the bottom of these foxholes, this is something most people don't know. You're supposed to make a hole about that big, right where your feet are. And dig this way down away from your feet. A hole this big, about that long. What's that for? It's not for human waste either.
For if you get bombed.
Nope.
So you can sit?
Nope.
Back?
Nope.
Someone doesn't know a grenade.
Yes, it's called a grenade hole. So you're sitting in your foxhole, and here's the dirt, and here's my head and helmet. Someone tosses a grenade at you, and here it comes, and it lands right there. Most of the time, you're not going to have enough time to have the wherewithal to grab the grenade and throw it back. It'll take off your arm and then kill you. What you do is you take that grenade and shove it down that hole, and poof, the earth absorbs almost entirely the explosion. It's called the grenade hole. You want to test anyone to see if they were in the Marine Corps? Ask them what a grenade hole is at the bottom of a foxhole. What's that for? What's that little hole at the bottom of that foxhole for? It's for grenades. But we have some other features too. The obstacles. This is all creating distance between your garrison, which is in the middle. A lot of distance here. But you got a dry moat. It can be filled with anything. In the dry moat, you can put stakes down there. Heck, later they put mines in those things. And mines are nasty. You could fill them with water or not. Doesn't matter.
Crocodiles.
You could, okay, that's fine. But it's an obstacle. You put stakes up there, that's fine. But to counter the cannon, this is all about distance and angles. So not only are your bird looking down at the fort and it's a big star, if you are on the ground, you are seeing slopes go like that. You can't exactly use ladders anymore, though they have been used. It becomes much harder to scale a castle wall. Now, and you guys said it, the best building material to counter the cannon threat is dirt. Not just dirt like a pile of dirt, hard packed dirt. Has anyone ever packed dirt down?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Is there, you know the reason? Make it tougher, yeah.
Well, when you're like putting dirt back in a hole that you just dug, it's good to pack it because the dirt will settle and sink in and there'll still be a dip in.
Back in the ancient days, people, you might not believe this, but people didn't have cement floors, typically. People typically didn't have brick floors. People typically didn't have stone floors. People were more poor then. So what did they do with their floor? They had a natural earth floor and they tamp it. It's called a tamper. It's about that big on the end of a big stick. It's real heavy, so you go like this and tamp the floor with it. It packs down the dirt real tough, real nice. And it packs it down so well that it feels nice and cool under the foot. It's even flat. A lot of places in the world, people still live with tamped earth floors, and there's nothing wrong with that. They work. But tamped dirt floors is not a new idea. So behind those walls, you've got a lot of packed down tamped earth. And the harder it's packed, the better it's going to defend against cannons. This isn't a new thing, hard packed dirt. It's been going on for a long time. In fact, way back in the day when Caesar was fighting the Germans in Germany, he noticed their hard packed dirt earth fortresses. So this is not exactly a new thing. It's just kind of resurrected. I don't know if Martini knew that, but it isn't exactly a new thing either. Interesting. I want to build a fort now. If anyone passes by my house in Groton, I literally live in a fort. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, in our backyard, you built like a little castle.
I've got my house, my daughter's house, my garage, her garage, and it's all connected by walls. Not kidding. And there's a gatehouse and everything. It's weird, but it's fun. So,
Do you protect it with cannons?
I could if I had to.
We have a stupid dog. It won't hurt anybody.
My dog is frightening. We have a frighteningly dumb dog. Frighteningly dumb. If you guys want a black dog, come and get me.
Yeah, we actually have our electric.
Actually, yes, I have an electric fence.
Because he kept eating the fence.
Okay, yes, miss.
Why are you holding those?
Oh, does anyone want to try these on?
Yes.
Look at it, watch. Uh-oh.
I want to look. New Year's.
All right, I'll let you try them on first. I got those for 50 cents and I fixed them, so that makes you instantly cool. Does anyone have any questions for me? Now, next time you come to class, make sure you bring $10 for your book, because I got it. Otherwise, I've been asked to send you straight to detention, which is outside, and you can do what you want outside until your next class. So that's all I have for you. Next class, we're going to have an open note quiz. Open note quiz next class, people. So if you don't have your notes copied, watch the YouTube channel or copy from one of your friends here.
Where are the instantly cool glasses?
Instantly cool glasses.
I see those glasses and I think of like.
You're welcome.
Bad copy.
I'm just gonna leave my stuff here.
Insta cool. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's a whole dollar of
There,
it.
so.
I got it. No. I don't think so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.